how the hell people in Canada are even living.
I don't know, man.
I regret coming to Canada.
Did Canada fall off?
Paying tax, paying tax, paying tax.
Unfortunately, I think it gets worse for Canadians before it gets better. Let me make this as simple as possible. Interest rates have gone up at a record pace, we already know this. Why are Canadians more sensitive to this? Your answer would be in a metric called household debt to GDP. Canadian households, which you can see here, have 70% more debt than American households on a relative basis. Although their rates are going up as well, American households are just better positioned for it. This could be one reason why Canadian inflation is coming down much faster than the US. But let's say you have little to no debt and some savings. What you'll need is some diversification in terms of US dollars and their equities to prevent your loss of purchasing power. Canadian equities and currency are by nature more cyclical. I get it, it's just a hamster wheel, I've already accepted it, and the sooner you do, the sooner you'll be able to play the game.
Hey guys, let's address the elephant in the room. Is Canada really as expensive as everyone is saying that it is? Is Canada going through a crisis so bad that it's not even worth migrating to Canada anymore? Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Dems, and I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about what Canada is like right now today. As you guys would have seen, this is a review video stemming from all the videos that you've been seeing on the internet, on TikTok, on YouTube, all about the high cost of living that exists in Canada right now. And I'm going to be sharing my opinion, what I think about the topic, especially from a migrant's perspective. If you guys are new here, please take a second to hit that subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree with me, or even if you disagree with me. That's fine. Drop it down in the comment section and let's have a conversation about it. Now, the first thing I'd like to say is that there is definitely a perception that the cost of living in Canada is very high. Now, what do I think about that? I think cost of living is relative. Relative in the sense that the cost of goods and services compared to your average income determines an high cost of living. Now, it is fair to say that depending on where you live in Canada, things might be a little bit more expensive. Also, things might be a little bit cheaper, vice versa, or your income might be a little bit higher. Different parts of Canada, as you guys might have known, Canada is the second largest country on earth. Now, we always hear the comment, Canada is underpopulated. No, but is it really though? I don't think Canada is necessarily underpopulated significantly, but what I think Canada is more densely populated in the sense that a lot of persons are concentrated in specific areas and other areas are underpopulated. And because persons are congregated in certain parts, it causes the cost of goods and services to go up. Basic economics, demand and supply. When demand outweighs supply, it leads to scarcity, it leads to price increase, and all of those factors coupled with inflation and just the different things that's going on around the world, like war and COVID and all of those things, it's inevitable for cost of living to go up, not just in Canada, but right around the world, right? So I think from that perspective, depending on where you're living, depending on where you're living, things might be really, really high, or it might be very affordable. So my advice would be, don't go and live in areas that is overpopulated, because that would kind of increase your chances of paying more for stuff like housing, utilities. You might have a hard time finding a job just because demand and supply. So my advice would be, look into the smaller towns, the smaller cities that oftentimes are very close to even the big city that you want to live anyway. But a lot of persons are caught up in the big city lifestyle, the big city offerings, and because of that, they don't want to move to somewhere more affordable, right? Because this is what they like, and that's okay. You like what you like, but then again, it's gonna cost you a bit more because, of course, demand and supply. There are parts of Canada that is really struggling to fill their labor market. Their labor market is so stretched and just understaffed, while other places there's no jobs for months for persons there because there's simply too many people. I don't know what it is that restricts somebody from wanting to move from a big city to somewhere more affordable, but I think that whilst things are more expensive in the bigger cities, like housing and rent, it's a lot more affordable in the smaller cities. So is Canada really expensive? Yes, it is, but is it really as bad as how people think it is? I would say absolutely not. Now, a lot of persons have been reaching out to me. Is it still worth it to migrate to Canada? In truth and in fact, there's no perfect society. There's no society that you're gonna move to and everything is gonna be 100% okay. And the truth of the matter is, Canada is no different. But to answer your question simply, I would say yes, it is still absolutely worth it to move to Canada. Whilst there is a high cost of living in certain parts of Canada and the job market is very competitive in certain parts of Canada, I believe that Canada is big enough for you to find yourself in an area that you can strive, you can achieve your goals, and you can definitely change your family circumstances if that is something that you're looking forward in doing. And I was talking to somebody on my calendar the other day. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you want to connect with me on a one-on-one basis, just to hear my experience, I know how can my experience help you. We can book a time with my calendar and I'll definitely chat with you. You shout out to Kevin over there in Turks and Caicos. You come to mine. We were talking the other day and we were talking about the fact that a lot of immigrants are drawn to go into the big city. And then when they get there, they realize that, hey, it's not as luxurious as I thought it is gonna be. Because I was speaking to someone else through another appointment who has been living in a particular city in Ontario for the past 1 year and 8 months, and the person has not been able to get a job. Not only that, the person has not been able to get a job, but the person is renting a single room with her spouse, and she's paying $1,400 for just a room, and she has to be sharing bathroom, sharing kitchen, sharing other amenities. Whilst here in Grand Prairie, for example, you can get a full townhouse for $1,400. You can get a two-bedroom apartment for $1,400. Full, nothing shared, in-suite laundry, everything. So again, it depends on where you choose to go, right? And this is just one of many stories that I've heard about where persons move to the big city and then they don't get the full Canadian dream because they realize that most of their income is going into rent and most of their income is going into bills, and then they're not able to actually see the Canadian dream that made them want to come to Canada in the first place. So my advice would definitely be, before going to a populated area and then ending up regretting it, calculate your decision wisely and make sure that wherever you're moving to, you are able to get an idea of what the cost of living is going to be, and also the chances of getting a job that is going to cover your amenities, at least your basic physiological needs, which is your food, clothing, and shelter. Right? As long as your basic physiological needs are being covered, everything else is really a luxury. So move to somewhere that gives you the best chance of covering those needs. Right? Now, let's talk about the Canadian economy a little bit. Now, when I moved to Canada in 2019, things were a lot cheaper. That's just the truth. Things were a lot cheaper. Everything were like, it was easier to get a job right around Canada. Things was booming. But we have to take into consideration that there's a lot of things that have happened since 2019. One, we had a global pandemic, which went on for almost 2 years, if not over 2 years. The commerce sector was almost shut down because traveling was either restricted or totally eliminated. So a lot of businesses had to close their doors, equal lot more unemployment. Governments had to be paying out in Canada. They paid out money to persons who were not employed. So many things that was going on throughout COVID, right? So that actually caused a significant reduction in the amount of cash flow that the average family would have. In addition to that, you have two wars that's been going on that has gone on since 2019. And whilst it doesn't directly affect Canada, it secondary or inadvertently not only affect Canada but every other country in the world. So because of that, you definitely have the rise in inflation. the rise in interest rates, and all of these factors that cause definitely goods and services to go up. And couple that with the perception of price gouging that's going on with the different food chains in Canada. So all of those factors have been going on since 2019. So goods and services are, I'd say rough estimate in my own opinion. There's no facts to prove this, but I'd say just using my own pocket as example, at least 20 to 40% more expensive than what it would have been back in 2019 when I just came. When we just came, I would have been able to fill a grocery cart for a little over $200. Now that same grocery cart is gonna cost me $400 or a little over $400 to fill that same cart. So things are vividly and obviously more expensive. But my point is, that's not only Canada. My point is, there's a global, almost recession that are taking place because of the pandemic and all of the other factors. So it's really unfair to really say that Canada is worse off than any other country, right? I don't believe that that is the truth. I believe that there's a lot of countries that has been struggling um, economically because of the different challenges that's been happening over the past couple of years. So for a new immigrant who's thinking of coming to Canada, I would definitely say that there's still a lot of opportunities here for you to integrate and survive and not necessarily end up on a camera crying like one of the fellow persons that you'll have seen in the previous opening to this video that we're actually doing a review to. But you would actually end up striving and succeeding and achieving all your goals. So I would say there is definitely factors that contributes to you failing or succeeding, and that is making the right decision, going to the right place, having the right support. All of these factors play a significant role in the outcome of your Canadian journey, in the fulfillment of your Canadian dream. Also, spend wisely, right? A lot of persons when they migrate, they want to live the Instagram lifestyle, they want to live the foreign lifestyle because they have family back home, so they want to show that, hey, you know what, we're living that good life. We're living that we're living that good life. Simply, I'd say live within your means, right? Live within your means and don't feel forced or compelled to live your life to please anybody else, but just live within your means and save and invest, right? That definitely would be my advice to a new immigrant who's coming to Canada. It's never too early to start investing. It's never too early to start investing. As soon as you get on the ground, as soon as you get off the plane and get that first job, you open a TFSA, you open an RRSP account, and you put a portion of your salary into it, and then you invest that into mutual funds or into self-directing investing. You decide what you want to do, but you start to do that because once you invest above inflation, you start gaining. Once you save below inflation, you're actually losing your spending power. So you have to learn about the different ways to grow your money and to stay above inflation to make sure that as things rise, your money is also increasing as well. So I would definitely say learn more about that. I know I got a little bit technical there. Hopefully I haven't lost any of you guys. But yes, bottom line is Canada is not more expensive than anywhere else in the world. And cost of living is definitely going up, but you earn enough to cover your bills ultimately, but it depends on where you live. It depends on where you live, so choose wisely. And that would be my 2 cents as it relates to all of this um, commotion that's been going on the internet. Anyways, that's enough. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys consider subscribing to my channel. Give my video a thumbs up and drop a comment. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. That's totally fine. Just let's have a conversation about it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.